Hello everyone, my name is Livvydoodlez, and I am back once again to show you a basic scoring tutorial on the planet Meteo. In this planet, we will enter the asteroid field utilizing a lot of breaking mechanics, charge shots, and bombs. For this stage, we will need to pick up as many bombs as we can from Corneria for a healthy run. But I also need to keep our bomb advantage for the later parts of the stage. Although we can start this with 3 bombs for the highest score potential, you will want to utilize as many bombs necessary to cover us in the 2 main sections of the level. For this tutorial, we will be utilizing the warp, so it's best recommended you are familiar with how to warp the Katina, and being comfortable flying through the warp rings at high speed while shooting. I will also be explaining the value of your teammates on this level, and how you will have alternatives in the future. But first, let's start with our intro section of the stage. To explain the meteors in this stage, each big meteor explodes into smaller chunks when they are destroyed. However, typically big meteors shot with regular laser fire do not count as a point, but their smaller chunks do. Our goal is to bomb and charge shot these meteors in hopes that you'll get a +1 for destroying the big meteor, and the rest of the points with the bomb. Or, if you're lucky enough, vice versa, where you will get +1 on the smaller chunks. To start, when a level starts, you want to lock onto a meteor as quick as possible. Release your charge shot and then do a somersault. Utilizing a somersault will turn it and help you line up for another locked-on charge shot to another rock. Then we'll want to focus on the 3 meteors on the left side of the screen. Try to cuss and shoot down any extra meteors you can, but do not use a bomb yet, because as you can see up ahead, there is much more clusters of giant meteors in front of you. For an earlier note, you want to have some bomb micromanagement going on here at all times. Just remember that you should have at least 1 bomb going into the warp later on, so watch your bomb usage. Now, there is a particular pattern here, as there's just too many clusters to keep up with. But just try your best to prioritize charge shots before bombs, as the extra points can be useful. However, if you want to base your wellness off your score, when you are through the asteroid cluster you should have a range of 35 to 50 points. Also, if you're in need of a laser upgrade, flying through all the middle asteroid circles will spawn a laser upgrade, but the second to last ring will have a silver meteor in the middle of it. Although you cannot destroy this meteor, you can however shoot it out of the way to collect your laser. In the next session, Peppy will be on edge about how quiet it is. This is a warning of an ambush up ahead. It is recommended you go to the furthest right rock near Peppy, lock on, and release your charge shot. Normally this would be bad because we are locking onto an enemy directly, but because of the rock being in front of the enemy, this counts as an indirect shot. You will want to boost and make sure you can throw off the timing of the ambush to utilize the rocks for an advantage. You may be able to charge shot them fast enough, but typically there will always be a few enemies that will get out in time. And in this case, throw a bomb to destroy them all. The last butterfly ship that explodes will drop a bomb for you. So be sure you don't kill one behind a rock. Otherwise, you won't know which rock has a bomb hidden behind it before it's too late. Additionally, if you miss one of the butterfly ships, it won't spawn a bomb at all. I'll go ahead and slow down a clip for you so that you can find out the spawn order behind the rocks. You can see how this section is a bit difficult, as everything is clustered together pretty tight. Next step is what I like to call wisdom tooth rocks, because the giant meteors look like wisdom teeth. If you refer to our Corneria video regarding the mix, these giant meteors count as an enemy spawned. Using your charge shots, aim for the middle of the tops of the wisdom teeth, and you should be able to spam +1 hits off of every wisdom tooth shaped rock. There's 3 total in this entire stage, so keep an eye out for all of them. You want to ignore the enemies coming at us for now, but don't ignore our little jumping friend. If you time the brakes correctly, as you are spamming your cuss shots off the second wisdom tooth rock, you should be able to destroy our jumping friend with the splash damage as well. Next, we have the centipede that was flying towards us earlier. It's best to charge shot with the intersect to get a +1 off of them. They will intersect in 2 areas, and I will mark them on your screen for you now. Now we have some downtime, but if you want to collect another laser upgrade, fly to the middle meteor circle again to collect it. If you do not need it, however, take some time to damage Slippy, as I'll explain later why this could be helpful. Just be sure not to down him. We want to keep proceeding and collect the bombs until we get to a last giant meteor collision. You want to line ourselves up with this giant meteor on the right in hard break. This should line us up to cuss the cone ships in front of us. You will also want to enter the kohlrabi here, as you will spawn a box, which will be used to cuss the enemy ships chasing us near it. Unfortunately, we're going to have to use other bomb here, because the cone ships are indestructible from one side. Lock onto the box, we'll hold our charge shot, tap the boost a few times to make sure the enemies won't pass us, and when it's the last minute, fire the charge shot that cuss all 3 enemies behind us. Now we want to line ourselves up to the right side of the screen, as Peppy will spawn with enemy ships chasing him. Aim for the middle one and hit it directly to play it safe and destroy all enemies in one shot. If you miss and let Peppy keep getting chased, it may despawn the enemy ships that show up after saving Peppy to make room for the chase scene. Next, for the after the chase scene, the group of enemies will go down, then back up, and then back down again. For the first 2 groups, give a quick boost and then cuss the middle when they go down and then back up. If you're lucky enough, you'll get a +5. On the third one, wait for them to go down, up, and then back down again, as this group is a little bit further out. The last one, you just need to try to cuss below the middle of the ship in the reverse P formation. Note that you definitely want to pick up the bomb from the third group of enemies, and possibly the laser upgrade from the last group. Next, you want to the right side of the screen again, we will fully brake, shoot down the enemy ships behind us, or let them travel out to cuss them. But it will be a little bit more difficult as they barrel around you pretty fast. And then take your direction to the last Wisdom Tooth Rock. Define your root canal quickly, as you will want to shift your focus from the enemy ships circling in the tunnel. Cuss as many as you can quickly, throw a bomb to get the rest. Break and throw another bomb for the grid enemies at the end of the tunnel. After, we want to cuss as many of the small rocks before Falco comes and shoots some of them down on us. A moss enemy will appear, and if you tail it quick enough, another one will spawn right after it. This is unique to the NA and EU versions of the ROM. So for Japanese score runners, you will notice the second moth will never spawn. If you're having trouble aiming at the moth, tap your boost to get a better aim at it. Next is the Slippy chase scene. Before I go deep into this, remember earlier how I mentioned that there are alternative things that will happen based on your teammates? Or how I said not to down Slippy yet? Before the chase scene of Peppy, if Peppy is downed, more enemies will spawn on screen than usual. This actually would give you a better score than keeping Peppy alive, but because of the enemies being spread out, it is much more difficult to aim. The same as with Slippy chasing. If you down Slippy while he's being chased, there will be more enemies after the checkpoint. You can utilize cuss forming Slippy's chasing cone ships, and then throwing a bomb before the checkpoint to get as many hits as you can, and then taking a checkpoint does again a few extra points than normal. Warning, however, once you go through any warp on any stage, it will erase your checkpoint. So do not die in a warp unless you want to start completely over. Aim for the middle ship in the X formation, and there will be a gray meteor that is actually destroyable that will spawn a gold ring for you. If you take your focus to the left side of the map, you will notice flat, bright textures of meteors. As you may have guessed, like the Wisdom Teeth rocks, these sprites also count as an enemy spawned. You can cuss these rocks for a few extra points before getting the warp pipe. Cuss, but hit directly the ring of butterfly units, and you'll get a +7 each time, hearing a nice going fox, a yippee you did it, or alright each time you did it. If you shoot another cuss right after shooting the ringed butterflies, you'd also sometimes pick up the zigzagging chips. But don't let them distract you from the warp rings, as those are a priority. On the second to last warp ring, throw a bomb and detonate it quickly, as they should get the last ring group of enemies that you would not be able to get normally, as the warp will despawn everything off-screen once you go through it. Now that we've went to the warp, there is no turning back. As I said earlier, dying here will erase your checkpoint from earlier. The first group of enemies after the Go Rock formation will zigzag across the screen. Charge shot one enemy and return the other. Then line up to the right side of the enemy group, but don't hit them directly, as there are a total of 8 enemy ships in a direct line here, but you'll only be able to see the one. Try your best to get all 8 by cussing the sides and then continuing forward. Next, you will have a pinwheel formation of enemies. You can probably cuss Y, but there's too many spread out to get them all. If you have 2 bombs, you could use one here to get them all, or you could try shutting them down and locking onto the last one in range to shoot behind you. Cuss the giant butterfly ship in the middle, and we'll say 64 on screen in smoke. A bunch of bows spire in front of you, as well as laser upgrades and rings. Throw a bomb if you have one, which is why we reserved 1 bomb minimum before the warp. Some assault with the bombs for a big stack, and then turn while somersaulting to collect the laser upgrades. Cuss and bomb the rest of the rocks, but be sure you don't accidentally hit the atom rocks, as I will be cussing them for more plus hits. After getting the plus hits you need, hit the atom rocks with the bomb before it's too late, and then repeat the process with the second one. Now if you have extra bombs, wait for the first wave of ships to fully come out. Throw a bomb, and then a second wave will fly into the explosions while killing the first wave. While you're doing this, cuss and rocks to the left and right side of the screen. One of the ways will spawn an extra bomb for you to pick up if you are allowed, but that will only happen if you kill all the enemies in that wave. Some waves will have different upgrades. An ocean wave of enemies will trail down, cuss the middle if you can, and lock on up both left and right of the straggler ships left over. Next will be the enemies tethered that will frantically fly up and down. Choose a side to cuss, but shoot down the other side. Now we're at the final stretch. Cuss the middle rock clusters, let a bomb fully travel down the path you just cleared, and try to collect as many bombs as you can. You would want a minimum of 3 bombs if you're going to Katina, if you're going to continue or 1 here. Cuss the atom rocks hidden on the right, and then go back to bombing the clusters of asteroids left over. Now that's the tutorial on Meteo. I hope you was able to pick up on all the micromanaging and strategies used in this video to help guide you on your score attack attempts. My name is Livvydoodlez, and you can follow me on twitch.tv/Livvydoodlez, where I will be playing variety games such as Starbox, where I run this planet and other rids. Be sure to check out his64.net, where you can participate in score attacks with other runners, keep a history of your progress, compete in races and marathons, and play with software such as randomizers and so much more to be Star Fox needs. Thank you for watching my guide, and as always, have fun, good luck, and take care.